March 1621. Plymouth Colony. Only 53 of the Mayflower's passengers remained alive. They had endured a merciless winter, one of hunger, disease, and freezing winds that claimed half of their companions. They had believed they had reached the promised land granted by God. But the truth soon emerged. The soil was rocky and barren, farmland scarce, and the harsh Atlantic winds never ceased. The winter was longer, colder, and deadlier than anyone had imagined. One day, from deep within the forest, came the sound of footsteps. Out of the trees emerged a native man, clothed in deerskin, carrying a bow, his face marked with red paint. He walked calmly towards the settlers. The colonists froze. To them, these were the people they had long feared, the Indians. But then, the stranger spoke. His first words stopped everyone in their tracks. "Welcome, Englishman." His name was Samoset, a member of a coastal tribe allied with the Wampanoag Confederation. He explained that he had once traded with English fishermen and merchants, learning some of their language. "I come in friendship," he said, pointing toward the distant woods. "In a few days, I will bring our chief to meet you." True to his word, days later, Samoset returned, accompanied by more than 60 of his people, the great Sachem Massasoit of the Wampanoag, and another native man who spoke English even more fluently, Squanto. Squanto's story was more extraordinary and more tragic than any of theirs. In 1614, he was captured by an English explorer and sold into slavery in Spain. After years of struggle, he escaped to England, where he learned the English language and adapted to their customs. When he finally returned home in 1619, he found his world erased, his entire Patuxet tribe wiped out by disease. Governor John Carver personally received the visiting delegation. He welcomed Massasoit with the decorum reserved for a monarch, bowing respectfully, kissing his hand, and offering fine wine and provisions as tokens of goodwill. The two parties concluded a mutual non-aggression and assistance agreement, marking the first formal peace treaty in the history of New England. Shortly after the meeting, John Carver passed away, yet his actions laid the foundation for the continued survival of the Plymouth colony and proved indispensable to its early stability and endurance. After the feast, Squanto remained with the settlers. He taught the Pilgrims how to plant corn, to use fish as fertilizer, to read the rhythms of the rivers, and to track the movements of game. As William Bradford later wrote, Squanto was a special instrument sent of God for their good beyond their expectation. In September 1621, the first harvest finally arrived. The storehouses were filled with corn, beans, and pumpkins, along with dried fish from the sea. The colonists decided to hold a celebration, to give thanks to God and to the native friends who had aided them. They invited Massasoit and his people to join the feast. 90 Wampanoag men came, bringing 5 deer as gifts. The colonists, in turn, prepared a variety of game and seafood: turkey, swan, duck, goose, eel, lobster, oysters, along with homemade plums, pumpkins, and root vegetables. It was a 3-day festival, later regarded as the prototype of Thanksgiving. Plymouth had, for a time, settled into stability. Between the Europeans and the native peoples, a brief harmony appeared to emerge. Yet no one knew that this peace was but the calm before the storm. In the years that followed, greed and misunderstanding and the conflicts over land and faith would slowly tear apart this fragile and precious alliance. The next chapter will turn to a broader question. Who were these so-called Indians, the original stewards of this land, and where did they come from?